Julian versus Miranda challenge is a very competitive, blood, sweat, and tears competition where all you want to do is talk smack to each other for a month.
You didn't even let me talk. You wouldn't even let me answer. The Julian versus Miranda challenge was started in 2018 when we realized that people tend to get a little bit lazy during the summer. They get a little bit sloppy with their fitness and their nutrition. So we wanted to come up with a way to keep people motivated, and what a better way to do it than to pit them against each other.
Yeah, so it's a non-competitive, competitive competition.
Yeah, you'll be on one of two teams, or in the past you have been on one of two teams, where if you're on Team Julian, you tend to drink a lot and lose, and if you're on Team Miranda or the Palomas team, you tend to get all of your points and win. I would say that the Julian versus Miranda challenge is different from the other challenges in it's definitely more playful. You're on a team. That's not something that we do in any of the other challenges. It's less nutrition focused and more just like, hey, let's keep consistency during these summer months.
It's a good way to like really bring the community together, where as opposed to other challenges, you kind of have to hold yourself accountable. For this one, you have this sense of not letting your team down, because remember, we split the community in half depending on who signs up, and it's all about winning the grand prize at the end of it.
So we changed some of the tasks from year to year, the same way we do in other challenges, but you can always expect some of the like staple tasks. Like obviously you're gonna get points for working out, and you're gonna get points for eating fruits and veggies. And this one you can get points for not drinking. I know that's sometimes in the challenges and sometimes not. And we've got some fun new things that we've added this year.
Yeah, so just points in general for better lifestyle changes. Yes.
No. So this question gets asked a lot, where people are afraid to sign up because they're like, well, I know I have a vacation during this challenge, or I know I struggle with getting my workouts in or whatever, and I don't want to sign up at all because I'm worried that if I don't get every single point, I will let my team down. That's actually not at all how this challenge works. Every single point goes toward your team's total. So even if you're only really good at one or two categories, you're helping your team. If you have a couple bad days, no problem. You get back on and you help your team. It's not like the other challenges in that there's a minimum number of points to be successful.
Yeah, so every point counts, and remember, the ultimate goal is just to participate and have fun with the team that you're on. And because like all challenges, we're pushing you guys to make better changes by establishing new habits. To win.
You should definitely join the Julian versus Miranda challenge, because I think, at least from what I see, it's the most favorite challenge for many of our members every single year. It's a great way to get to know other street parking members, and I think some people come out of their shells a little bit on the Facebook group because a little bit of smack talking and a little bit of creating some funny memes, all of that stuff is encouraged on the Julian versus Miranda Facebook group. And like Julian was saying before, having a team that you're feeling like you're trying to do these points for can be more motivating, or motivating in a different way than just trying to do it for yourself. So
we are in year 4. In year 4, we are bringing a new surprise to the Julian versus Miranda challenge.
Is it going to be that your team doesn't drink?
There's no promises.
That would be
There's
a really
no
big
promises
surprise
here. But yeah, I'm really excited to announce what that will be very soon.
Yeah, there's definitely a new element this year, and for that information, once it's available, and all the other information for the Julian versus Miranda challenge, make sure you guys check out the Julian versus Miranda challenge page on the members only website.
Go guys.
Welcome to the 2021 Street Parking Vault. The Street Parking Vault is a 1 workout a week for 25-week series with the goal to help street parking members build consistency.
This, however, is the beginning of round 2. If you have done this before, this is your opportunity to retest the workouts or try a different version.
Customize these movements and choose a version that fits your ability. Your scores and weights don't matter. The goal is to maintain consistency from week to week. You just can't miss.
If this is your first time doing this workout, click on the link below, which will take you to the original version that breaks down all of the customizations, tips, as well as all the different versions of the workout.
All right, guys, it's time again for us to tackle everyone's favorite vault workout, Nicks. Now, last time we did this, for many of us, it was cold and snowy outside, so this might be your opportunity to do the actual version with running and do it in a nice, warm, maybe too hot climate. So last time, if you were able to hit the goal, but you customized the distance for the run, row, or bike in any way in order to do so, I would challenge you that instead of getting more burpee reps, to do the actual distance on the run, row, or bike. So that would be my #1 challenge. Now, if you didn't quite make the goal, if you were under 80, but let's say over 60, I would say go for it again and see if you can get within that goal range. If you are a super burpeer and super runner and you got over 150 reps, this is your opportunity to put on a weight vest this time, or if you don't have access to a weight vest, you could also do a burpee up to a target. Now, if you did do the run last time and you have access to either a bike or a rower, this is a really different workout on those two pieces of equipment than it is with the run. So give one of those a whirl. Regardless of what you're choosing to do, I want you guys this week to build a strategy based off of your last score. So let's say your score last time was 120 reps. That's an average of 12 reps per round. Start out from the very beginning doing 14 reps per round and see if you can hold it. Now, if you did the shift version last time and you're not quite ready to dive into the full 20-minute long Nicks, that's totally fine. I also want you guys to increase your reps. Instead of doing 6 burpees per round, jump up to 8.
All right, what's up? I am getting ready to do this workout, and I'm really excited about it. To be completely honest, I'm not, because I remember how challenging this workout was last time. Instead of doing the exact same version, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna be doing the bike version, and I'm gonna keep my weight vest on and see what the difference is here. The bike does push me a little bit more. It's a little bit more challenging for me to try to get 15 calories under a minute. It takes more effort. So I felt, based off of how I wanted to approach it, I wanted to challenge myself on the bike and still, I don't know, honestly, I'd be happy with over 150 burpees on this one. So we'll see. I'm going to pace it. I'm going to cruise through it at first, and then I'm going to pick it up, and we'll see if anything changes throughout the way. All right? Maybe with a different beat. Give them some beats. Like a beat list. We good? No, we good? Okay. This is good. All right, here we go. Head back.
All right, and he is off. This time, biking instead of running. How do you feel about the bike, Nicole?
Depends on the bike. I enjoy a casual beach cruiser. I enjoy anything that's not the assault bike, I guess you could say. So I do not feel good about this version, although I feel better about this version than running. Let's be honest, I don't like this workout.
Yeah, that is pretty honest, Nicole. I am glad, though, that Julian is doing the bike. As he said just before, it's a little bit more challenging. I think for most people, it is. And he got 172 reps last time around, which exceeded the max end of the goal by over 20 reps. So
Yeah, it's a lot of reps.
yeah, I'm hoping that this kind of just knocks him down a little bit.
I also hope to knock Julian down. I mean, this workout will knock him down a little bit. All right, and there he is off of the bike. He did say that this was going to take him longer to get off the bike than running, and it has by a couple seconds for sure. He wanted to challenge himself and not just coast off the bike and rely only on his burpees. He wanted to push himself on the bike, get those burpees, and he even said he's hoping to incorporate a solid 15-second rest in at least the first 5 rounds, reevaluate and go from there. So we'll see if he holds true to that as we're coming up on a minute 35 here.
Wow, 15 seconds rest. That is ambitious.
Yes.
But also a great strategy going into this, guys. It kind of helps you to not peacock by building in those few seconds of rest before starting the next 2-minute bout.
So he did not stop 15 seconds beforehand, and we are immediately incorrect.
Immediately wrong.
Immediately wrong.
We're also not sure how many burpees he got done because he didn't get to write it down on the whiteboard, but that's okay.
I'm going to guess and say it was 15 because he said he's going to be shooting for 15 burpees. Now, that is wild speculation, and we'll have to find out on his next round where he actually is.
Yeah, and again, the bike is just more challenging. You know, there's the push and pull element with the handles that you don't get from running. And with burpees, there's a lot of pressing, there's a lot of muscular fatigue involved. So being on the bike is definitely going to be more of a challenge. And I'm sure he's being smart about, again, not peacocking. So I'm sure he's holding an RPM that he feels is sustainable while still challenging himself. And that's going to be true for you guys too that are tackling this version of the workout.
I saw him watching the clock a lot more on the bike this time around. I think he's being a little bit more mindful of how long it is taking him to get those cows on the bike and then having to transition to the burpees. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to maybe stop a little sooner on this one. We shall see here in a bit. He is 20 seconds in to his burpees.
So you guys see he's wearing the weight vest and he's also reaching up to a target. Those are great options for anyone who is a burpee ninja.
A burpee ninja.
Yeah, if you think that you'll be able to sustain 15 or more reps per round, then we encourage you to make those a little bit more challenging however you can. If you don't have a weight vest, jump up and touch something to a target. Again, just to make them a little tougher for you.
Nice. So he was able to pace it better this time. He did stop with 15 seconds to spare. Thankfully, he wrote his reps on the board for us. So in the first round, he got 15 burpees. In the second, he got 14 burpees. Quick math says 29.
That is quick math, Nicole. Well
Right?
done. I am so proud of you.
Was it correct quick math?
Yes.
Okay, because quick math does not always mean correct math.
That's true. How does that compare to his first score, Nicole?
So last time around he was running, he was getting more time with the burpees. So at this point in the last round, or should I say in the last time he did this, what was that, 6 months ago? So this time he had 38 burpees.
Wow, that is a significant difference.
Significant difference, but like I said, he was getting more time slightly in the burpees. Also, Brian was here. And when Julian works out with Brian, he tends to just go hardcore because he refuses to let Brian beat him. And vice versa. They push each other quite a bit. So we'll see if that will end up being a factor as well.
Nice. And then, I think it's only fair to mention that, for Julian, it's appropriate to make the burpees more difficult. For others in the community, it might be smart.
Inappropriate.
Straight up. It might be smart to actually customize the burpee, make it a little bit more approachable, maybe make it more accessible so that you're able to hit that lower end of the goal range, which is 80 reps. And across 10 rounds, that means doing 8 reps at least per round.
That sounds like something I could actually tackle.
Absolutely.
I don't like thinking, oh man, I need to get 15 reps.
Right.
If I think 8, I could maybe do 9, maybe do 10. But if I'm trying for 15, mentally, I'm going to give up if I can't get it each round.
Exactly. It's like everything that, with street parking, it's that all or nothing mindset. Whereas if I approach it with something that's a little bit more accessible, I think mentally we can just kind of stay with it for a little bit longer. And for those of you who are retesting, it's actually really cool to have an overall score, and then you can divide that number by 10, figure out your average, and then going into this, a good strategy is just to try to start with 1 or 2 more burpees than your average from before, and that's like a really clear-cut way to establish like a personal record pace. Now, of course, with the second round,
it's not always important that you guys are PRing and doing the exact same version. If you didn't catch the coaches roundtable from last week, we talked a lot about other ways to define success. And honestly, sometimes just showing up,
Truth.
doing the workout
Truth.
is a success in and of itself, regardless of if you beat your score or not.
You know, I really like your advice of just one more rep each round, because over 10 rounds, you're gonna crush yourself,
Yeah.
like your previous self.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Let me
You
be
may
clear.
also crush your
Yes,
current self,
Both
but
things could be true, but if you add 1 rep per round for 10 rounds, you will PR by 10 reps. And I am of the mindset, whereas I might not always be able to push myself consistently, but I can always get 1 more rep.
Absolutely. So Julian's reps are going down by 1 each round. I think what's happening here is he is trying to find a pace that he can settle into.
Yeah.
I don't think we can expect the reps to continue decreasing. I don't know where he's going to settle.
Yeah.
But I do think at some point he's going to find 1 rep goal and stick with it for the remainder of the workout, because Julian is he's a tough cookie.
He is, for sure. And he is, he's hitting that bike. He did say that the bike exerts more energy. It takes more of a power output. So currently he's probably adjusting to that and trying to figure out where he might need to make changes. He did say he likes to, in most workouts, reevaluate. In a workout like this, 5 rounds in, he's going to reevaluate and make any changes that might be necessary. And until then, he's kind of just testing the waters.
Yeah. And this workout is such a mental grind, not only because it's 20 minutes of work, but because you are only moving between 2 different movements. And that really, when you don't have that relief of like Gaia last week, where you just kind of chip away but you're always moving on to something different, which can really be like, I don't want to say encouraging, but it is kind of
it's
in
encouraging.
a way. Yeah.
As one of the people that suffers from that mental internal struggle game with a workout, I actually found Gaia intimidating initially, but as you're chipping away, you feel good as you go. Something like this, you're just in it, back and forth. Run, burpee, or bike, burpee. It can get tough. You can be really in your head with something like this.
Absolutely. So definitely a workout that will test your mental fortitude and give you an opportunity to improve it.
Mental fortitude.
That's what I said. Yeah, and it's like you can never really fail a burpee. I always say it's kind of like an elephant. The best way to eat it is 1 bite at a time. Is just break up the burpee into really manageable sets. So at any point in time, you can reach for the floor. At any point in time, you can step your feet back. At any point in time, you can lie down.
Yeah, I love that point in time.
Yes, burpee naps, right?
Burpee naps.
And then, with the burpee, it's not necessary to do a strict push-up back to the top. So you can keep your knees down, keep your hips down even, press your chest up, and then separate jump your feet back. And then really it's just standing from there and jumping just enough to get your feet up off the ground. So I always like to just just do the next thing, just do the next step, do that over and over and over again, and eventually you're moving on to the next thing.
It's funny that you mentioned it's like an elephant, 1 bite at a time. Julian likes to call the reverse peacock the elephant. And he said he likes to find momentum as the elephant, just building up that speed. And then once you get halfway point, you either attack tusks up or keep your head down and just keep on moving.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I kind of like that.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about reverse peacocking.
I do.
I don't use the elephant. I use the penguin.
And I enjoy a penguin. I like both of the animal analogies. I do appreciate the penguin in that it's up our alley,
Right.
Got to put a bird on it.
Gotta put a bird on it. Also, speaking of burpee naps, I think it's appropriate time to talk about Nyx, the goddess of the night.
Yeah, Nyx is really, I think, named appropriately in this one specifically. I despise this workout, and let's talk a little bit about Nyx.
Yeah, so she is the daughter of Chaos. So Chaos is the first god to kick us off, the beginning of everything.
Oh.
And alone she spawned a brood of dark spirits, including sleep.
I like sleep.
death,
Ooh, not that one.
strife,
No, thank you.
and pain.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. And here we are in the middle of Nick's, and it seems very suited for what's happening right now. Sleep, death, strife, and pain with all that biking, all those burpees, and that weight vest.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. Yikes indeed.
Yikes indeed. Know what? Of note, I just remembered last time he did this, it was raining. So I bet that little brief run out in the rain to cool you down, that might have been refreshing. That might have
Absolutely.
actually been a benefit at the time, to be just like, get a gentle cool off in between.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note because when we initially did this in January for a lot of our members, that means doing it in the winter time, in the cold winter months. And now we are in July. So for a lot of our members, that means it's summertime, it's getting hotter, it's more humid.
Yeah.
It's a really important thing to consider, and making sure that you guys are hydrating appropriately, maybe choosing the time that you work out wisely, because overheating is a very real thing.
It really is.
And
it really is.
having some rain to cool you off,
Lovely.
if nothing but to keep your heart rate a little lower, and honestly, just like something about overheating causes like a panic internally.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to focus, and for something like this, you really have to focus and make sure that you're not falling off pace if you have set a goal for yourself to reach a certain number of reps.
When Rachel and I used to live in Florida, when we would work out, we would have a little water bottle on hand and spritz ourselves just to kind of like cool off, and it helped a lot, at least mentally.
Yeah.
So real quick question, Alex. I can't tell. I see his burpee score up there is 15, 14, 13, 12. Is that another 12 before the 13? I can't exactly tell.
I do think it is.
Okay, I was just asking you because you have the younger set of eyes over here.
Yeah.
My old lady eyes can't exactly see that one number.
So he is in his 7th round, is that right?
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Yep, he just finished off his 7th round.
Nice. 3 rounds left. About 5 more seconds before he has to hop back on the bike and
another
get
12.
started. So it looks like 12 to 13 is about where he's settled into. Hopefully we can see him sustain that. And then, of course, when the last round comes through, you guys will see him give his all-out effort.
He might go tusks up.
He might go tusks up. He might belly slide like a penguin would.
Yeah, maybe.
The last round in a workout like this is always a great one to just go for broke. There's nothing left to do after. You've likely been giving yourself some rest up to that point, so it's good to just try to squeeze in 2 or 3 more reps.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's not going to stop at 15 seconds on that last round. He's going to go straight through, get every last rep he can. But let's be honest, it's looking a little rough right now. He looks pretty tired.
Yeah. So one thing to mention is for those of you who struggle to complete the cardio element in a minute to a minute and 10 seconds, we highly encourage you to reduce the distance, reduce the calories, depending on what implement you're using, to something that allows for you to consistently finish in a minute to a minute and 10. That way you have enough time, again, to hit the burpee rep goal, because we are scoring burpees. The cardio element's really just kind of like a nuisance. You just got to get it out of the way. It just keeps fatiguing you. But at the end of the day, we're looking at how many burpees you can get done, so we need to make sure that you have at least 50 seconds to do those.
Yeah. You're right. The cardio element is a nuisance.
It really is.
I find it very irritating.
Yeah. So let's say you didn't hit the goal the first time around, you were under 80 reps. We actually encourage you to do it the same way. Go for it again, and this time again using that strategy we talked about before, doing 1 or 2 extra burpees, just enough to set yourself up to get inside of that 80 to 150 goal range.
Nice.
We talked a little bit already about ways to make it more difficult if you are exceeding the goal. Let's say you didn't have a weight vest, or you didn't have something to touch to a a target to. One thing you maybe could do is, if you're a solid runner, instead of running just the 200, maybe you run a 300. You extend that distance a little bit.
Oh my God, okay.
I know, right? And of course, that's only if you're exceeding 150 reps on the burpees.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary otherwise, but that would kind of just narrow that window to get burpees in and tax you a little bit more too.
Right on. Now, if someone started to, say they made an adjustment and they made it quote unquote more difficult for themselves this time around, if they got part way through and realized that they kind of bit off more than they could chew, is it okay for them to switch back to the original version?
Absolutely. Fitness freedom, baby. Fitness freedom.
Fitness freedom, baby.
Yeah, I mean, don't give up on yourself too quickly, right?
Okay.
Again, this is a great workout to challenge yourself with, and I think if we have that easy out too readily available, we may lose a chance to prove something to ourselves.
Right.
So I would say if you're feeling that way, try to stick with it for a couple more rounds. See if you can really just dig in, find that deep, dark place, and stick with it. But of course, like anything, if it's like this or I quit, then yeah, I mean, absolutely go back to maybe whatever version you did the first go round.
So like when thinking about it as a Knicks type situation, okay, maybe some strife, maybe some pain, maybe a bit of sleep, but let's not go to death. Once you're about to hit that death portion, you're like, okay, let's back up a little bit, reevaluate, bump the 300 back down to 2.
Exactly. So guys, he is starting up his last round.
And he did go all the way to the 18-minute mark on that last one, so it looks like we were right. He isn't going to cut off at 15 seconds in these last couple of rounds, trying to get every rep he can.
I'm interested to see how many he's able to squeeze out this round, because he has dropped off a couple of reps the last 2 rounds.
What do you think? What do you think? Let's make a bet real quick.
I think he can get back to 13.
We can get back to 13?
I think so.
I think he can get back to 14.
Oh.
And want to put some stakes on it?
Sure. What are you thinking?
Let's do a 200-meter bear crawl on the air runner.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I really hope he gets 14.
Don't let me down, Julian.
He's looking pretty intense. He's looking intent on doing it. He's focused.
He is. We're over the minute mark,
but
though.
We are over the minute mark.
It's boding well for my end of the bargain.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. Here we go. Come on, Julian. If it's neither one of it our answers,
2?
do we both have to do it?
3? I'll leave that up to you, Nicole. 4?
Then both of us for sure.
5. Great. 6?
Okay.
7? 20 seconds left.
20 seconds left.
I lost count.
I think this is 10. Uh-oh.
Oh, dang it.
12, I think.
Oh, no. Hopefully you miscounted. And time.
Nice.
Very
I think he might have gotten 14. We got to wait and see what he writes down.
He might have.
I think you might be on that air runner here in a second, doing a little bear crawl action.
Oh, man. This is going to be a fun one to retest.
Let's see, he's writing it down now. Let's see what he got. 14. It is official.
Hot dog.
Julian went tusks up at the end. Added a rep to the second to last round. 4 reps to the final round. That is fantastic. I'm going to try to do some math real quick. I want to say he got 125 total reps, but listen, guys, don't quote me on that. I don't have a calculator. Let's go to Julian for his tips on this one.
All right, so lots of adjustments had to be made there. The difference here between running and the bike was that on the run, I was able to relax my shoulders and push the chest off of push the vest off my chest so I can breathe a little bit more. Because on the bike, I was using my shoulders a lot. So there wasn't that little adjustment that helped me a lot, I feel like. And the last time I did this workout. So I knew right away that there's one where I tried jumping up away from, I settled into like 12, and then one round I did 13, which was like on round 6, I think. And immediately I felt that extra rep on the bike, which slowed me down there. I think that's where a lot of people tend to feel good in the middle of a workout. You have to see at that point how long do I have left, because I felt like if I would have tried to do that again, the whole workout would have crumbled. I would have peacocked it. Whereas you can tell immediately, I think I went 12 and then a 10 and then 11, and I had to build back up. And at that point, because I'd already made the mistake, I didn't check out of the workout. I just slowed down my bike and accepted that was gonna happen, and kind of just coasted through the burpees because I knew I still had a good 8 minutes left. And then I was able to kind of pick back up as I was recovering through the remainder of the workout. So there's a lot that goes into it, but if you try to like stick to that and go, oh, I'm gonna go 13 and I'll be okay, but then the last couple minutes you fall off big time, that doesn't feel good. And that's very humbling, and for the ego it's a big blow. So for this, know that if that happens, pull back a little bit, catch your breath as you're moving still, and then ramp it up the last couple minutes and finish off the workout nice and strong. So that's it. I think 15 seconds of recovery was really good, actually. And I think I even fell off of that the first round. I was like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll do 15. I think that was a big mistake. I should have stuck to my plan and then ramped it up towards the end of the workout. So it all starts from the beginning. Those are my tips. Stick with the number for the first 5 minutes, and then back end, pick up pace and finish off nice and strong.
Double check the math, you got 126.
126 reps, nice. Didn't hit the goal that I thought, but again, immediately realized how much difficult it was gonna be by holding on a weight vest on the bike as opposed to the running, because the breathing really, really caught up to me. So that's it. Enjoy it, guys. Second round. Always find ways to challenge yourself, push yourself. It's not always about the PRs, right? It's all about learning from each workout, and then just keep moving forward. Let it go. That's it. Have fun. Welcome to round 2.